Everybody out there today, tonight, wherever you are in this world, it is I, Lord Macintosh here, welcoming you back to Life is Strange Aftermath, the visual novel made by Retro Zone Studios. And I owe an apology because I did not realize this till after I upload the videos. It turns out my camera where my camera was recording is cutting off Max's head, and I'm like, I felt so guilty about it. So anyway, welcome back to Life is Strange Aftermath. We're basically continuing our journey with Kate Marsh. So basically, we are in the aftermath of what would happen if we continue the story with sacrificing Chloe. Like RetroZone Studios, they really outdid themselves with making this visual novel and giving us the answers that Life is Strange fans so desperately want. The Life is Strange fans so desperately want. They want to know what happens to Max if we continue her story. If we sacrificed Chloe. Because if we chose to sacrifice the Bay, we already know that we got the comics. We got the comics that will give us the answers. Now we need to, we need to continue the story. So, and I moved my camera down so you guys can see Max. I want you guys to see Max. And I do got a little announcement after this episode, okay? Also, I am also really happy. I'm up to 30 followers on Twitch. I am very grateful. I'm trying to figure out how to get emotes up. I want to get emotes up for you guys because you guys deserve it. Anyway, let me set my phone up real quick. Got me some high quality H2Ego with some strawberry kiwi flavor mix. Yes, I said it, flavor mix. So we're gonna load where we left off, and that is when we also learned that somebody is spying on us. Who's that somebody? That somebody happens to be Victoria Chase, the queen bee of Blackwell. And remember, we erased everything, so basically she's still acting like the rich, snobby, rich girl that basically hangs out with her posse all the time, and yeah. Listen to that music. That music is, that's something. The music's something. Anyway. Back in my room. Wait a second. Back in my room. Back to square one. Victoria was definitely not the kind to act directly over something like this. She would rather not get her hands dirty. She would probably send someone else or just do it online. So I pondered over it as I sat out at my desk, the tip of my pen tacking against it while I tried to figure out what she might want. Did she see me as a potential target after Chloe's death? Or maybe after what happened to Kate? Or maybe after what had happened to Kate? I tried to protect her from Jefferson back at the Vortex Club party, and she seemed fairly understanding at that time. But things were different now. She wasn't the same Victoria that seemed worried about me during the party. Now she was just, well, she was Victoria, and that wasn't a good thing. I let out a frustrated sigh, my fingers massaging the bridge of my nose, trying to come up with a new plan of attack. I stood up on my desk, moving towards the door with just my phone in hand. The first step to fixing this future was to act upon it. Not myself, and not sit still. I was going to do something now. Before I headed towards Victoria's room, I couldn't help but notice something unusual outside of Kate's room. A single rose rested in front of the closed and taped off door. The slate outside of her room had only her name, and some hearts put on it. Was it something drawn by Dana? Perhaps Warren? I smiled to myself. It was a very welcome change. After a couple steps, I found myself right outside Victoria's room. I knocked a couple of times on the door with a solid couple of knocks. Victoria? Are you there? We need to talk. There was no answer. My knocking started to get louder. Where could she be? Where could she be? Kicking the door was definitely not the move this time. There was no way she would answer any texts that I sent her. I groaned in frustration, heading outside of the dorms to try and find the girl. Once outside, I noticed Victoria sitting on the small steps that led towards the dorms, and a familiar scene. Even that cashmere sweater. Oh, they're bringing that back. Oh, that like they always did. They were the only way we could get past Victoria is to put paint on her cashmere sweater. I might have to try. What happens if you go without damaging her cashmere? That's my own thing to solve. She turns around, and once she notices me, she immediately looks away towards the floor. I head down the stairs and stand right in front of Victoria, her eyes avoiding me at all cost. I cross my arms before speaking. Victoria, we need to talk. My tone was much more aggressive. But even then, Victoria didn't seem to care at all. I stepped close towards her, putting my hands on her shoulders, which forced her to look at me. Her face had a guilty look plastered all over it. You know what you did to Kate, don't you? You know what happened to her. It's not like you to not be up to date on every rumor that goes around Blackwell. And Victoria is stunned and silent. I've been looking for you, Max. Victoria? Looking for us? That honestly seems very out of character from the snobby rich girl that we know in the Life is Strange. Well, depending on the ending we chose and all that. I gave her an offended look. Even if she hadn't done anything inherently wrong to me, she always managed to get on my nerves. For what? To spy on me? To try and get some dirt? Victoria shook her head, letting out a sigh. I wanted to talk to you, but I didn't know how to do it or where to find you. I guess you're doing me a favor now. She chuckled softly. Victoria's passive disposition was almost unsettling after everything I had seen from her. I backed out, letting go of her shoulders with a confused expression. Talk? What did you need? Look, Max, I don't expect you to listen to me, but I really want to talk to you. Right now. She finally looked up at me. She didn't give me the feeling that she was pulling my leg. Was this really Victoria? Was this an alien passing off? Was this an alien passing off for a human? Well, Victoria stood up, trying her best to keep eye contact with me. I promise it's not a trick. Well, saying it like that sounds like it is, but I just want to talk. We could go to the cafeteria, if you want. I'll even buy you something. It took me a couple moments. The idea of a Victoria Chase that didn't hate me seemed to be like an alien concept. I nodded after a couple of moments of thinking. Okay. I didn't say anything else. Victoria nodded in agreement shortly afterwards. Cool. I'll lead the way then. Victoria then started walking away at a slow pace, making enough space for me to walk alongside her. Should I walk with her? You know what? You know what? It looks like she's building up some trust. Like, we can't, if we walk behind her, I feel like she's gonna feel like, oh, she just still doesn't believe me. So, let's walk with her. I looked at the ground nervously. Was it really okay to walk alongside someone like her? What she did to Kate was unforgivable. Just thinking about it made me incredibly angry. But she had shown me a bit of her better side. Even if there was not much to talk about on that aspect. I guess she was at least according to what she was said earlier. I swallowed my pride and took her up on her quiet offer, walking right towards her side. I could see Victoria give me a soft smile through the corner of my eye, even if I pretend not to notice it. Victoria stumbles through her words for a bit, as if trying to find the right thing to say to bring up a conversation topic. So, the contest got pushed back. Victoria said with a gentle voice, her eyes wandering off towards the nearby buildings. I didn't answer for a moment. The decision between doing so or not was almost as hard as walking with her. However, I was in too deep to back down now. Wait, really? Why did it get pushed back? The contest had already been pushed back thanks to Jefferson's arrest. And now a second time? Victoria looks thankful about my inquiring over the topic, turning around to see me as she spoke. Yeah, even if the teachers say otherwise, everyone already knows about that. She thought about the rest of her sentence before continuing. Was she trying not to be insensitive? That was new. So they decided right now it wouldn't be the best time to go through with it. But hey, at least it gives us more time to think about our submissions. She gave me a gentle smile, genuinely trying to strike a bit of small talk with me. This almost seemed straight out of a fanfic. I answered back with a weak chuckle, still someone wary of her and her antics. Victoria reminded me of an out-of-touch uncle, trying her genuine best but still coming off as awkward. Have you thought of your submission yet? Not really. I had a bunch of shots of teachers and students, generic landscapes, and some more experimental pictures. However, nothing seems to be hitting me as the one as of late. Really? I would have thought you already submitted your picture by now. She looked towards the floor, fidgeting with her hands. That's what everyone says. Nowadays, it's definitely not as easy with everything that's happened. Both the funeral and Kate's suicide attempt had definitely taken a toll on everyone. But see Victoria, the prodigy of photography, be so shaken by it was off-putting. It's okay. You don't have to force it, you know. You'll eventually get the shot. You'll always do. I said, while trying not to be too hostile. Victoria was acting different for sure. And at least for the time being, she wasn't acting like, well, a bee. I'm not saying that. She takes the gentle answer with a slightly surprised expression, like she couldn't believe what just took place. But that changed shortly after. Victoria smiled softly to herself, nodding shortly after. Thanks, Max. Our small chat ended up as soon as we entered the cafeteria. Oh man, I was expecting to see a picture of the cafeteria because One thing we don't ever see in Life is Strange the game, we never see a cafeteria. We always go to the Two Wheels. We always went to the Two Wheels. Anyway. Once inside our destination, Victoria led me to a somewhat secluded table. Here, I'll be right back. Anything you might want? Don't worry about the price. It's on me. I'll take whatever you're taking. Thank you. Victoria nods and then goes to buy our stuff. I laid my head over my arms, my right hand tracing shapes on the table while waiting for her to come back. Victoria was acting nice. Almost too nice. Was I so used to being mistreated by her that I now took it as a hostile thing? Maybe she was about to poison me. No, this is what I wanted. I wanted to talk to her. And she wanted to talk to me. So this was the best case scenario. I couldn't back out now. I went through scenarios in my head of how things got to this point up until I felt someone pushing something down the table. Wait a sec. I went through scenarios in my head of how things got to this point up until I felt someone putting something down on the table. I directed my gaze upward and then saw Victoria with 2 big cups of what seemed to be coffee. The condensation on the outside made me think it was some sort of iced coffee. Once I grabbed it, I noticed some black balls on the bottom of the cup. I think I've heard something like this before. My college did something like this. I think it's like some special sort of tea. I don't really know what kind of food or drinks you like, so I brought you my favorite iced tea bubble tea. Kind of a mouthful, isn't it? Victoria chuckled to herself. Oh, sorry, do you like coffee? I promise, it's really, really good. I know a lot of folks really don't like it, so tell me if you want something else. I couldn't help but smile. I couldn't help but smile softly in answer to her odd enthusiasm. Victoria handed me a rather big straw. The top of the cup was covered by a layer of plastic, which I then stabbed with my straw while hoping not to make a mess by doing so. After taking a sip, I nodded to myself with a satisfied expression. I could hate Victoria as much as I wanted to. Well, I could hate Victoria as much as I wanted to. But I couldn't call her taste bud. That's for sure. This is pretty good. Is it expensive? Really, I can pay you back. You don't have to force yourself to. Victoria shook her head, her hands dismissing my words with a relaxed wave. It's not that much, really. It's the least I can do for you. You know, I've been horrible to you, and not only to you. Victoria let out a deep sigh, and shot a dejected look towards the floor. You told me you wanted to tell me something, right? I thought you brought me here just to buy me some fancy tea. Well, both. To be perfectly honest, Max, I wanted to apologize. Lifting my head from my cup, I looked into Victoria's eyes. A gesture that she couldn't quite reciprocate. I didn't interrupt her. Did she have a change of heart? It reminded me of a lot of that week's final days. I've been such a bee to you. You know, when I looked at you, I felt jealous, Max. I looked at her with a surprised gaze. Jealous? Of what? She rested her elbow on top of the table, her hand on her palm as she looked up into the bright park of the campus. I could tell it was hard for her to admit to such things. I couldn't imagine it being her position. You always seem to just not worry about others. You took your selfies in class like it was nothing, hung your pictures on your walls, and hung out with anyone just because you liked them. I wanted to be like you, Max. I wanted to be free. I guess that's why I was always such a bee. I kept listening to her, finding it surprising that someone like Victoria found anything to be jealous of in me. Just how long had she felt like this? Generic, isn't it? Victoria let out a sarcastic chuckle, and then a sigh. But you have talent, and you're just you, Max. It's amazing. You and everyone around you. They're all so free, just being themselves. Kate always seems so passionate, so dedicated to being herself. Even if everyone called her Bible group lame or abstinence thingy stupid, she still kept going. And Warren, he watches all of those weird movies and talks about them without worrying about what others might think. And I'm just... She spoke with a clear intention. She spoke with a clear intention to sound remorseful. But I wanted more than just that. Oh crap, I did not mean to... Oh, sorry. I couldn't quite buy the story just like that. Okay. So you harassed her because of that? You're even hosting her video online, aren't you? I was. Not anymore. I moved my chair towards the table. I took the page down after I saw Kate's room. I couldn't possibly keep doing it. Wait a second. I took the page down after I saw Kate's room. I couldn't possibly keep doing it. Not after that. Did you go into her room? How? And why? You guys seemed really invested into this whole thing. She would get so many terrible messages every single... I know what I did, and I know what the others did, because I did it too. She let out a sigh. I took it as my cue to shut up and listen. That day, when you broke into Kate's room, you looked so terrified. Like you had just seen someone die in front of your very eyes. It was because of Kate. After you left, I looked inside her room and... Victoria hugged herself, shielding herself from the memory. I saw all of it. The ink on the walls, the messages on her email, even read her diary. It was all because of me, wasn't it? She looked at me. Was I supposed to answer? I had to fight the urge to scream. Yes, at the top of my lungs. But it felt wrong to put all the blame on her. Especially after what I did myself. Wasn't I greatly at fault too? Wasn't I the last nail in Kate's coffin? I could feel the knot in my throat, making me unable to answer at all. I didn't answer. Victoria kept on looking at the floor. I felt so guilty when I saw all of it. The nooses, the pages, seeing how every day she got more and more depressed. That's why I wanted to apologize to her. I knew what I was doing was wrong. And the fact that I still kept going makes me the worst of the worst. Listening to her made me feel weird. I could not explain the feelings pent up within my heart as she told me all about that. Did she really feel it? Was this a setup? It could be. She seemed generally remorseful, a side of Victoria that I had never seen. Did she deserve a second chance? I took a sip of my drink. Victoria didn't stop talking. I sent her a card to the hospital. I tried my best to tell the girls to stop sending her emails too. Some of them listened, but not all of them. But I'm trying my best to stop it. Alright, Victoria, I give you props. You're at least trying. Don't stop. Keep trying, okay? She took it in a deep breath before her eyes went back to meet mine. Max, do you think she'll forgive me? I know I've done some horrible stuff, but I want to at least get her to listen to me. I want to tell her that I'm sorry. Her look was almost enough to make me feel guilty. She seemed genuinely remorseful for what she did. Was this the real Victoria? Victoria was genuinely trying her best, trying to make things up to me with her small talk, and trying to reach out to Kate. Maybe she did deserve a second chance. Put my drink aside before I spoke. Kate called me this morning. She did get your card. Really? What did she say? She really appreciated it. She's positive. Almost too positive now. I asked her why she wanted to forgive you so easily. How she could still treat you so nicely after everything. She wants to give you a second chance, Victoria. Victoria looked at me in awe. She clearly didn't expect things to go so smoothly. Really? I'm so happy to hear that. It even looked like she couldn't believe it, looking blankly at the table with a big smile as if trying to process my words. Earlier today, I was trying to listen in on your call. Warren probably told you, didn't he? He gave me some weird looks from across the hall. Victoria paused briefly to take a sip of her coffee. It's not coffee, it's tea, Max! It's tea! It's tea! I'm sorry. I know it wasn't the best look, so I don't blame you for thinking it was something else. I just wanted to see if she was okay, if she said something about me, but I saw you crying, Max. Her tone became much more troubled. Was she really concerned over my feelings? Victoria, was she being too transparent for this to be a plan to harass us? There was a bit of silence between the both of us. Victoria kept inquiring about the topic. I'm so sorry for what I did. To you and Kate. When you asked me where Dana was, you looked so worried. It was scary, honestly. And after Chloe's death? I get it, Victoria. So what are you trying to get to? I said while trying to avoid the topic. I didn't want to listen too much about that day. Just the thought of it was enough to give me shivers. Victoria nodded, going straight to the point this time. I want to make it up to you, Max. Everything I did to you. I physically recoiled back on my chair in surprise. Of all the things I expected to hear today, this definitely wasn't one of those. What? What do you mean make it all up? Victoria, you're acting really... I know, Max. It seems really hard to believe, and I don't want to force you to accept my apology, nor do I expect Kate to do so. But please, if you let me, I want to try and get to know you better. Maybe we could go out and do stuff like this more often. I could help you out with class notes or photography class if you needed to. I look away from Victoria, softly shaking my head from side to side. Was it really okay to say yes now? I know it's hard. Really. It's very selfish of me to ask you to do this, but I want to show you that I want to make things better. We don't have to be best friends, but please, just give me a chance. In a way, one could say that I got much more than I want. In a way, one could say that I got much more than what I bargained for, but I didn't want to accept it. What would Kate say? She was right. She had forgiven Victoria, and now she was here, attempting to redeem herself. Maybe I could learn something from her, couldn't I? I had to fix the future, and Victoria was definitely part of that future. As much as I wanted to deny it, I let out a deep sigh. Finally conceded to Victoria. Fine. Wait, what did you say? I rolled my eyes. Did she have to make me say it again? Like, really? Fine, I said it's fine, Victoria. Don't make me change my mind now. Fine, I said it's fine, Victoria. Don't make me change my mind now. I tried to put up a serious expression, but Victoria didn't seem to read it quite well. She smiled brightly at me, leaning further towards me. Thank you, really. I hope we could get along. She extended her hand across the table, offering me her hand as if she was trying to get me to sign off on our new deal. I rolled my eyes, chuckling before I gave her my hand in agreement. She shook my hand, with a chuckle of her own. It's decided then. Really, thank you for listening to me, Max. It's no problem. Thank you for not being a villain for once. Victoria smiled at my slightly spiteful joke. I'll try my best not to be one, but for now, you should finish your tea. If you let the ice melt, it's going to taste like water. I nodded, taking a sip of my drink. The rest of our afternoon was spent sharing meaningless but most welcome small talk. Once the afternoon sun was starting to set down for the day, Victoria checked her phone, getting up from her seat as soon as she saw the time. Thank you for coming with me. Thank you for coming with me, Max. Really, this means more to me than you can think. Victoria waited for me to get up before we left the cafeteria. I felt pretty satisfied. Being able to hang out with her felt nice. Even if I still couldn't quite process it. It's nothing, really. If anything, I never expected you to tell me all of this. I believe things will be fine now, Victoria. I hope so. There's still a lot more I want to talk about. The whole thing with Jefferson, ideas for the contest, and maybe faction. I'll definitely give you some tips. Sure, I'll be sure to take note of them. Give me a second, I need to replenish my throat real quick. I'll be right back. Anyway. Alright. Where was I? Oh, yes. We made our way to the dorms. Once we were inside the halls, Victoria turns around to face me. Oh, one last thing. I've had your number for a while now, but do you mind me sending you a couple messages from time to time? Like, to hang out and stuff? Oh, sure, I don't mind. I nodded at her. Victoria answered with a smile of her own. Thank you, Max. Have a good night, then. With that, she entered the room and closed the door behind her. I wonder what old Max would think of me getting along with Victoria. Would she think it's a normie thing? Cringeworthy? I chuckled at myself just thinking about it. If it was a normie thing, then I wouldn't mind being called one by past Max. It was relieving knowing that I didn't have to worry about Victoria anymore. Rather, I could think of her as a good friend. Friends, huh? Fate really has some interesting tricks under its sleeve. I turned to face Kate's room. The red rose was accompanied by some white lilies. I smiled to myself. Maybe things were finally getting better. As I peeked into the dark room, I thought to myself that I needed to do something about it. If she came back from the hospital to such a terrible looking place, that won't be very pretty, would it? I was going to do my best for Kate. For the two of us. Once inside my room, I dropped my stuff on the desk. Calamastia's figure watching over my room made me smile with a nostalgic feeling. I'm back, Calamastia. Calamastia didn't feel very chatty that evening, But I didn't need her to respond to know that what she'd say back. I let myself fall back to my bed with a big, satisfied smile. The peaceful feeling left over from my meeting with Warren. Victoria and my call, Kate finally gave me the sleep I hadn't had in weeks. I only woke up thanks to the sunlight that rudely made its way through my room, yawning for what felt like ages as I sat on my bed. No classes for today. Did I really have to wake up? The temptation of my warm and fluffy bed was too strong to resist. It was kind of reminding me of the start of episode 2 where she didn't want to get up. She was like, maybe I can reverse time to give myself a few more minutes of sleep. I decided to stand up from my bed to check my phone, just in case there was anything that I might be missing for today. After a couple of wobbly and groggy steps, I made my way over to my desk, picking up my phone and seeing the messages that I had received this morning. The first one I see is from Victoria. She sent me a message already? It simply reads, Hey Max, good morning. Are you busy today? I was thinking we could take a couple of shots for the contest. What do you say? Before I answered, I checked on my other message, this one being from Steph. Hey Max, I'm around campus with Mikey. I'm going to go back home in a couple of days, so we wanted to play something with you. Are you a Dungeons & Dragons fan? If so, text me so we can crash at your room. Really? Both of them? I had a lot of time to kill, so how should I spend it? Do I want to play with Victoria Steph, or do I want to spend time with Victoria? You know what? If we want to strengthen our bond with Victoria, as much as I love to spend some time with Steph, I just became Victoria's friend yesterday. I couldn't leave her hanging like this the day after, right? With a bit of a sigh, I said goodbye to my bed as I answered Victoria's message. Sure, sounds like fun. Where should I meet you? Victoria answered a couple of minutes after my first message. Want to meet at the main entrance? I'll see you there in 30 minutes. Alright then. Before I went ahead to get ready, I switched over to Steph's chat. Didn't feel right just leaving her on read. Hey Steph, sorry I already made plans with someone else for the afternoon. But we can talk or go out later if you want. Steph answered quickly. That's okay. See you around, Max. Didn't feel quite right rejecting Steph's invitation. But rejecting Victoria or rejecting both of them would have been the same, wouldn't it? D if I do. If I don't. It wasn't long before I was already back into my good old combo of jeans, shirt, and sweatshirt. My mom once told me that I was like a living, breathing picture. Always looking the same. Was it really that bad? I shrugged, not really in the mood to get out of my comfort zone. I grabbed a book bag, making sure that I have both my camera and a bit of money just in case. Once all of the preparations were ready, I left my room and started heading straight for the entrance. Once in front of it, I started looking around the rather empty space. Just a couple of guys sitting in the grass and sleeping to the side of the trees. Victoria was sitting on the main steps of the school. Once she noticed me, she smiled and walked towards me. Hey Max, good morning. I hope I wasn't interrupting your beauty sleep. Not really. Being out here is better than just laying in bed all day, you know. Victoria chuckled in agreement. Well, we're also going to be taking pictures, so that's quite productive. I just can't see any good shots around here. Did you bring your camera? I nodded before I took it out of my book bag. Of course, I never go out without good old Reliable over here. Spoken like a true photographer. Well, the first problem is going to be finding the right place for a shot. Any ideas? A good place for photos? As much as I love the idea of staying on campus, there's nothing that one would call revolutionary to be around in familiar grounds. No risk, no gain, I guess. Maybe the beach. The beach? The sun makes for good lighting and we can try to get some stylish pictures going. Any better ideas? Oh, that sounds great. Spending a while at the beach doesn't sound like bad at all. Are we gonna walk there? Of course not. I'm not an athlete. We should take the bus. Victoria nodded. Sure, I don't mind. Victoria turned and sat right back on the same spot she had been waiting for me on. I invited myself to sit by her side, my eyes wandering aimlessly around the place. Arcadia Bay was small, and that was no secret. So when people stayed at home, it made the whole place look like the ghost town. It made the place look cool and way less annoying. Hey Max. Victoria's hand softly nudges my leg, getting me to focus on her rather than the somewhat empty bag. Yeah? Thank you for coming. I know that after yesterday it's a bit of a surprise. I hope you're not pushing yourself to do something you don't want to. I shrugged. It's not like I had anything else to do. Victoria chuckled alongside me. I attempt to lighten the mood working fairly well. But really, if I didn't want to come, I wouldn't. Besides, I think it's fair to try and make things better between the two of us. Victoria crossed her arms. She seemed skeptical. I'll be back, Vic. You think so? I didn't expect it to go this well, you know. Is it a bad thing that it did? I tilted my head to the side, looking straight at Victoria, who shook her head immediately. It's not. Just a bit of a surprise, I guess. Regardless of what it is, thank you. It's nothing, really. Thanks for inviting me as well. It wasn't long before we noticed our not so long awaited bus and boarders. It was surprisingly empty. But on a weekend? It had to be some sort of miracle. The trip to our destination wasn't long at all. Arcadia Bay was a very small place after all. It sometimes made me think of what life would be if I were to stay here. Would I like it? Seeing the same faces all over the place, knowing every single rumor about everything. Putting it that way, it sounds a bit uncomfortable, but somewhat charming at the same time for all its flaws. My eyes couldn't lie and tell me that the place didn't look at least somewhat nice. The warm morning sun, the birds flying through the brightly lit sky, the clouds that one couldn't help but want to touch. Arcadia Bay, why was it so hard to hate you? Why was it so hard to love you? I moved my eyes away from the window, chuckling at my self-imposed dilemma. Did I want to stay after everything? Or did I just want to leave this place, and with all my might? I shrugged lightly, a gesture that caught Victoria's attention. But nothing much. The rest of the bus ride was mostly uneventful. Before I knew it, my eyes could already distinguish Arcadia Bay's beach. We got off at the diner bus stop. At which point we got off and stretched for a couple moments. Ready to get some prize-winning shots? Of course, we're about to make the Pulitzer winners look like absolute amateurs. Victoria gently chuckled at my comment before nodding, enthusiastic look drawn all over her face. We crossed the road to the brightly lit beach. It was fairly early in the morning, the light of the sun nearly reflecting off the gentle morning tide. Calling the beach pretty would be quite, and I meant quite, generous. You would see bits and pieces of wood scattered all around, broken bottles that were dangerously pointing upwards, begging for someone to step on them. Plus the usual empty bags of chips that made for a very pretty sight. Victoria, however, seemed far too focused on the admittedly impressive view that the sun gifted us. The lighting, the sound of the waves gently reaching the shore, the occasional old truck running in the background. Yes, this was the Arcadia Bay I knew. I don't come here very often, but it always makes for a pretty view. She chuckled at herself, bringing up her camera with a relaxed expression. I sound like an old woman. Sorry about that. I gently smiled, following behind Victoria while looking for some potential shots. My camera, ready to shoot at any time. I took a look at Victoria. The look on her face was earnest and hopeful. She looked around excitedly fashion, all while wearing a bright smile. Victoria walked around without hesitating. She seemed to have forgotten all about the trash that was all over the pit place, about the sand that had probably already gotten inside her fancy shoes. Take a picture of Victoria, like that. Perfect. Victoria was completely enthralled, and all allowed me to see a side of her that I hadn't seen before. I could feel how passionate she was about this project, even if it was just for school. She searched for every nook and cranny during our time at the beach, hoping to find that elusive perfect shot. But that look again. What did Victoria feel when she saw Arcadia Bay? She had been living here longer than me, but she still seemed to be captivated by it easily. I took a step closer towards her, hanging my camera around my neck to muster one's courage and strike some conversation with her. You're acting like you're lost, Victoria. Me? Lost? I can make my way back to Blackwell with my eyes closed. Was it lost in this? Was it lost as this? These shots. That's what's going on. Victoria cheerfully laughed. Her eyes turned. Victoria cheerfully laughed. Her eyes turned to focus on me momentarily, instead of the beach with a calm gaze. Well, photography wouldn't be nearly as fun as it is if shots happen just like that. You have to work for them. I know. But one would think that Arcadia Bay would have some mercy on me after all these years taking pictures of it. Arcadia Bay was not the kind of town that people knew of. Rather, it was a town that no one had the need to know of. It made me feel like everything that happened in here was not important, at least to an extent. It was just us against the world. But it didn't have to be that way, did it? Victoria looked back at me while wanting to say something. She chooses to stop once she sees my expression. You are giving me a really intense look right now. Don't tell me you're falling for me or something new. Don't tell me you're falling for me or something now. You wish. Victoria smiled in response, her eyes finally focusing on me rather than on the beach as they had been doing for a while. What is it if not my stunning looks? Well, would you like to stay here, Victoria? Like, when you grow up? What do you think of Arcadia Bay? I made a small pause, giving her some time to process what I just asked her. Getting philosophical? She chuckled, her eyes momentarily looking at mine before turning around to face the sea. Honestly, I don't know. Arcadia Bay is a good place, but I know there has to be more to life than a small seaside town. At the same time, I look at this and think, what that? Maybe Arcadia Bay might just be the place for me. There was a bit of silence between both of us, only filled partially by the sound of the calm waves. And I'm the one getting philosophical. Come on, you were the one who asked me about it. What do you think of this place, Max? And now she was the one making me get philosophical. Okay. I need to think about this. I want to stay. I guess this is the place for me. You really think so? I took in a deep sigh, looking at the lighthouse, which was easily visible from the shore. I've made many memories here, ever since I was a kid with Chloe, or even now that I'm in Blackwell. I can't help but feel like this is my place. Even after moving out, the only thing I could think of was just how bad I wanted to come back here. You know, just living a simple life, living peacefully in a small town. It even sounds romantic. I stopped looking at the lighthouse to look directly at Victoria. It doesn't sound bad that way, right? It doesn't sound bad that way, right? Maybe take a trip from time to time. But this place keeps calling to me. I wouldn't mind staying here one bit. Victoria chuckled, walking closer to me and nudging my shoulders. Now you are the one sounding like an old woman. I didn't know you thought of this place that way. After everything that happened, do you still think of it that way? What happened? What happened? It doesn't make those memories less valuable. I grew up here with Chloe. We said we would become pirates and rule over Arcadia Bay. We played every day. Ate together, slept together. Honestly, I'm surprised we weren't glued to each other. Wherever Chloe went, I was there too. I let out a sigh. A nostalgic smile formed on my face as I looked down on my camera. But even if she's not here with me, she still gave me some memories I'll never forget. Some of them even live in my pictures. When I look back at them, it's like she's still there. I'm thankful for her memories, and I will never not be. It had turned into a much more serious conversation. But Victoria didn't seem to mind at all. She was attentive, genuinely caring for my words. I know how much she meant to you. I'm happy that you still think of her that way. You're strong, Max. I chuckled at her answer. Sorry, went on a bit of a tangent there, didn't I? The truth is that I still think of her. A lot, actually. I wanted to be there for her, but I couldn't. If only I had. Victoria shook her head, hanging her camera around her neck to grab me by my wrists. You don't have to blame yourself, Max. You've already suffered more than enough. It felt weird venting to Victoria Chase of all people, but her endearing tone and genuine worry over me easily got me to lower my defenses. You don't know that. Oh crap, You don't know that. You don't know what I did. I looked away from her dejectedly, trying to push her away, but Victoria didn't stop her advance. You know what? You're right. I don't know you enough or whatever you did, but I know enough about you to know you wouldn't hurt anyone on purpose. From your words, from your actions towards Kate, this is not your fault, Max. Victoria looked at me with her troubled look. The girl that stood in front of me was unrecognizable from the one that once hated me so much. Has she always been this way? I brought my hands to my face, wiping away my tears before I snickered at Victoria. Victoria's hands in turn returned to her sides. I'm sorry, I kind of ruined the mood, didn't I? Victoria shook her head, chuckling in response. That's okay. I got to know more about you. Besides, we still have more than enough time to take some great pictures. She shook her hands off of my arms, a sigh relieving her lips as she did so. It doesn't mean much. I'm always here to talk. I really want to be as good of a friend as I can to you. I nodded, feeling quite relieved hearing those words. It does mean a lot to me. Thank you, Victoria. Right back at you. You know, maybe if we both choose to stay here, we could gossip all day, every day. That sounds like the average Arcadia-based citizen. While eating our daily meal at the Blue Whale Diner. Diner, too. Exciting! Being able to rely on Victoria makes me feel much better. After Chloe's death, having someone here at least made things easier on me. That's enough deep talk for now. Want to get some cool shots, Max? I nodded, lifting my camera up in agreement. Victoria started walking around, looking at her surroundings, while looking for anything that called her attention. She took pictures of the broken bottles buried deep in the sand while contrasted by the sun. She took a rather generic picture of me sitting in the sand while staring deep into the ocean. Sadly, no Pulitzer-winning pictures were taken. But I felt like we were earned something even better in exchange. The sun was starting to set, giving the place a distinct orange tint. Victoria sat in the sand, smiling as she held her camera in her hands. Well, looks like today isn't our day. I stood right behind her, chuckling at what she said. But it was fun. Definitely better than being inside your dorms all day, don't you think? That's true. Pictures come and go. We'll get them another day. Should we get going? Sure. Let's grab the bus then. I gave Victoria my hand for her to stand up. She takes my offer, and soon enough we find ourselves at the bus stop. While we're waiting at the bus stop, Victoria looks at the pictures she took, holding them in her hand as she hadn't brought any kind of bag. Well, these aren't half bad, you know. Here. Victoria handed over the pictures she took of me. I was distracted. All my attention focused on my camera as I took a picture of the far away lighthouse. When did she take this one? It would be kind of creepy of me to hold on to a picture of you. Kinda? Victoria chuckled, yawning as she leaned on the post behind her. Very. But thank you, Max. I appreciate having these moments together. It makes me glad to know there's another photography snob like me around town. It's nothing, even if it's kind of tragic that we didn't get our contest entries ready. We should have more than enough time. Maybe a couple weeks. After Jefferson got locked up, things have been very chaotic. On the good side, it at least gives you more time to think of your entry. You didn't have one ready, did you? Nope. Inspiration is a cruel mistress. And well, it didn't feel right for me to enter the contest after that. How so? Victoria takes a moment to answer. Her sad look avoided me as she spoke. Jefferson played a part in my love for photography. He always seemed so friendly and always so inspired by what he taught, unlike many other teachers. He seemed to genuinely love what he did. But what he did was with that passion. There's an uncomfortable silence between the two of us. Victoria didn't seem like she wanted to talk more about the topic. You know what? We need to influence. We need to. Hold on a second. We need to inspire her. We need to tell her, don't let that stop you. I'm gonna say what happened to my mouse. I got what she was feeling. It won't feel right to keep chasing something that someone as horrible as Jefferson inspired you to do. But was that really all there was to it? Victoria leaving behind her love for her work because of him? I won't be able to let that happen to her. I wouldn't give Jefferson that satisfaction. I know what you're feeling, Victoria. It's hard to think of photography and not think of him, or of what he did to everyone. But that doesn't mean you'll be the same. I don't think this should be it, Victoria. You know I'll do great things. I know you'll do great things with everything that you've done. Everyone on campus already loves your work. And if Jefferson destroyed so many people's lives, I know you'll be able to inspire many with what you can do. I know you will. Victoria fidgeted in space, her gaze shyly moving back up to meet mine. You really think so? I believe in what I said, wholeheartedly. Victoria smiled, her gaze meeting with mine once she did so. Somehow you always know what to say, Max. Is this some kind of secret power? I shrugged. So what if it is? Victoria sighed with a satisfied expression. I guess I don't mind. It feels so nice depending on someone like you, Max. Thank you for that. I nodded before I noticed our bus arriving. We got on, and once I paid our fare and took a seat, the bus took off towards Blackwell. By the time we arrived, there was almost no one to be seen. Close to the main entrance. All the ruckus dying once the night is starting to set in. We walked together towards our dorms. And once we found ourselves on the middle point in between our dorms, Victoria stopped me. Well, this is where I take my leave. Thank you, Max. I had a lot of fun. Thanks to you too. I hope we can hang out like that again. For sure. I'll send you a message so we can get something together. I got an idea. How about both of you go see Ken in the hospital? Ding, 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 ding. That's an idea I came up with. You guys like it? And with that, each of us turned around to go to our rooms. Once I was inside my room, I took a couple seconds to just think. I had a weirdly nice day alongside Victoria Chase. Was this an alternate timeline, and I just hadn't noticed until now? I laughed at the thought. Regardless of what it was, I couldn't say that I had a bad day at all. But a bigger problem arose. That was my roaring stomach. Had I been too distracted to notice I didn't have anything to eat for breakfast or for the afternoon? I rolled my eyes. It seemed like it was time to order something online. After spending 20 of my hard-earned dollars and eating a slightly cold pepperoni pizza, it was time to settle for the night. I hung the picture that Victoria took of me on my ever-growing wall collage, thinking that it was a memory worth keeping alive. I went to sleep. Feeling satisfied. Maybe being Victoria's friend wasn't as terrible as I once thought. And I was glad that I was wrong. Were those mistakes finally being corrected? Was I succeeding in my mission? I wouldn't know. But what I did know was that the satisfied smile on my face wouldn't be taken away by anyone or anything. Oh, wow. Oh, God, that really threw me off. Photography class. No teacher. What were we supposed to do if not try and take dramatic pictures of my pencil? I slumped over my desk and read Kate's message from this morning yet again. Hey, Max, will you come over today? I'm going to be leaving the hospital soon, but I want to see you before I do so. I wanted to go over, but it was scary. Just how would things go? It was hard to know, but what was I supposed to do? I was interrupted by the sound of a chair dragging alongside the floor. As I turn around, I see Victoria pulling over a chair to the front of my desk. Is something up? You look like you're thinking almost a bit too much. Well, aren't you the perspective type? Yeah, just a couple things going on that are annoying me a little bit. Victoria tilted her head to the side slightly. Well, what is it? I may not be a therapist, but I can for sure lend an ear. Not like we're going to be doing much anyway. You taking pictures of your pencil isn't going to make time go by faster. Hey, no disrespect to my pictures. These are going to get prized one of these days. I don't doubt it, but wasting your time on pencil pictures? Come on, there are better subjects than that. Do you want to grab some coffee after this and talk? Are you sure? I don't have any money on me right now. Don't worry about that. You can give me something later. Plus, it's sad if I'm the only one with a drink. That's true. Alright then, I'll get you something next time. Promise. Victoria got up from her seat, dragging the chair back to the table on the side of the classroom. Class will be done in a bit. Just tell me when you're ready to leave. Got you. Victoria seemed really earnest in making her plans of a friendship between the two of us come to fruition, but I couldn't complain. It was quite a nice feeling. After a couple of minutes, we heard the bell that marked the end of our classes. Another day over with it, I guess. I picked up my book bag and my camera and walked over to Victoria's desk. Victoria looked up from her phone, putting on her bag as she spoke. Ready now? I know a place not too far from here. Maybe a couple blocks away. Want to walk over there? I could use the exercise. Sure then. Lead the way. Victoria stood up and I followed her out of the school. Not having a teacher is boring me out of my mind. At first, having a free period is cool and all, but having to be there is annoying. Why did Wells ask us not to leave the classroom? Victoria asked as we walked down the curb. Nope. Right! But come on, it feels like we're back into middle school. Couldn't they hire us somewhere another teacher by now? At least we get some extra sleep time, I guess. I know! Whatever. I just wonder who's going to be judging the photos. Wasn't Jefferson a judge? I think so. I mean, Wells is probably going to be the one to do it. But who are we supposed to hand them to? Who are we supposed to hand them to? For now, I haven't been told anything. Well, be sure to ask later. I'm kind of nervous about the contest myself. Taking good shots under pressure is so hard. I don't think it's that bad. You always get good shots. But how is the contest going to work? I remember the winner got to go somewhere for a picture exhibition, didn't they? Yep, from my experience, sometimes they take you there. Sometimes they take you there. Sometimes they don't. It's more like, is this picture worthy of getting an all-paid trip to San Francisco? Kind of thing. That was oddly, specific, Victoria, but hey, who am I to judge? But yeah, you can also bring a companion with you. If I win, I'll be sure to take you on a trip. Shouldn't you take any of your other friends? They've known you for way longer than I have. Victoria chuckled as if it was some kind of joke. I like them, sure, but sometimes they feel more like friends for the sake of being friends. You could almost say they're just friendly acquaintances. Victoria always gave out the vibe of having mostly just superficial friends. But did she really not have any real friends? Do you not have any friends? Well, friends that aren't just acquaintances? Of course I do. I don't see them a lot. Some of them moved away, and some others don't go to Blackwell or have jobs somewhere else. So that's pretty cool. Hey, it's not like I'm a loner, you know. I didn't say that. It's just that the girls you hang around are like the gossip type. I don't know. It just seemed a little weird to me. I get what you mean. I like gossiping with them if I'm not being honest. I don't think we have to be really good friends and know everything about each other to at least be friends. They can be pretty mean sometimes, so I've been trying to get them to stop that. I know it's ironic coming from me, but it's for the best, don't you think? For sure, and that's good. The only friends I have are usually fairly close to me, except for Alyssa, maybe. I sometimes talk to Dana when the time feels right. Oh, here we are. Oh, crap. I clicked too much. Oh, here we are. The conversation is cut off as we reach our destination. A small coffee shop that you'd undoubtedly miss if you didn't know it existed. It looks small. Hey, size isn't everything. I've come here a lot. One of my friends opened this a couple months ago. Oh, supporting local business? Exactly. I come by 3 times a week, religiously. And of course, I leave that $10 tip every time. I'll come by then. I'll come by too then. Next time your coffee will be on me. I'll remember that, Max. Wanna go in then? Sure. Whoa! This is awesome! A coffee shop? This is nothing. There was nothing like this in the game. Seeing this is awesome. Retro Zone Studios, 2 thumbs up for this. A new scene in Life is Strange. Got my word. I hope this ends up with its own I hope this visual novel ends up with its own Wikipedia page. It's its own Wikipedia page, or a page on the Life is Strange wiki. As soon as I stepped inside, a little bell rang. I noticed the indie sort of feeling. The wooden floor, the hanging orange lights, and the hand prices on the top of the bar make the place seem comfy. It looks really good. Did your friend make all of this? You could say that. Me and some other friends helped put it all together. But she's the real MVP. The door in the back quickly flung open. A short girl with curly hair, glasses, and a white apron rushed to the entrance. She looked cute. I had to give her that. Whoa, hello. Hello, madam. Who would you be? Ah, sorry, I didn't expect anyone to come in. The girl lifted up her gaze toward Victoria. The height difference between the two felt being fairly noticeable. Oh, Victoria, and she looked at me with an inquisitive look. Her facial expressions were lively and endearing. Was this the kind of friend that Victoria really had? Seeing her with someone that isn't your regular gossip girl is surprising. You're alright, Rebecca. She's my friend Max. She goes to Blackwell, too. We are in the same photography class. Oh, really? Nice to meet you. I've seen a lot of Victoria's friends, but you're a new one. I hope you like it here. Rebecca extended her hand to me and we shared a handshake. The girl beaming as we did so. She seemed extremely lively, almost like she was a kid on Christmas. Seeing someone like her alongside someone so serious and her self-composed made for a curious contrast. Max, this is Rebecca. She's been taking care of the shop for a couple weeks now. Yep, sometimes it gets a little hectic, even with just a couple customers. Keeping tabs on the orders, making the coffee. Everything's so hard sometimes. But I'm managing for now. Please take a seat. I'll get you the menu. Make yourselves at home. With that, she rushed back to the bar. The place looked very well kept and cozy. The host for the day seemed to be just as nice as the shop itself. The idea of working here seemed fun. Victoria took us to a table in the corner. A round dark wooden table and a pair of similar looking chairs awaited us. So, what do you think of the place? It looks great, honestly. Does anyone else work here apart from Rebecca? Not that I know of. Why? Well, I was kind of thinking that working here would be pretty cool, don't you think? Whoa, really? Just like that? Victoria thought about it for a minute. Is getting a job really that surprising? Well, I guess we can ask Rebecca later. She's pretty short-staffed. Actually, she's not even staffed now that I think of it. Yeah, honestly, it's better than just going to my room and doing nothing all day. Rebecca walked over to our table, bringing up some handmade menus covered by hard plastic. It was pretty cute that with some cats and hearts scribbled on the back corners. Everything was pretty personalized on the cafe. The music, the pictures on the walls, even the paintings of Arcadia Bay. Here, the usual, Victoria? Oh, I'm sorry. Why didn't I want my voice raised that high for a moment? Yeah, put some extra sugar on it for me, will you? Of course. Anything else? That's it for me. Alrighty, what about you, Max? I read through the menu. It didn't seem to have that many items, but the options all seemed tasty. At least for what the scribbles on the sides seem to suggest, that is. I'll get the caramel macchiato, please. Right away. Rebecca walked back to the bar. Victoria leaning towards me a bit once Rebecca had left. So, you told me you had something going on, didn't you? As the topic got brought up, I let out an irritated groan. Yeah, I mean, it's nothing too big, I guess. It's mostly just me whining. Well, I'm all ears. You happen to be talking to the queen of the best unsolicited advice ever. What about solicited advice? I don't know. Maybe not your best option. Rebecca came over to our table as Victoria spoke. 2 cups on her left hand and a little plate with cookies on her right. Macchiato and lemon tea with extra sugar and some cookies. They're on me, girls. Rebecca, that was so nice of you. Yes, thank you so much. Victoria, you introduced me to a new friend to the Life is Strange universe. Actually, Retro Zone Studios, thank you for introducing me to a new character to the Life is Strange universe. Thank you for introducing me to Rebecca. Applause for you. Thank you, Rebecca. The cups seemed to be fairly big. My drink certainly had a lot of flair. The caramel and brownish sprinkles over the whipped cream. It even had a Max heart scribbled on it. Victoria's cup had a VI smiley face on it. Never heard of B. Never heard of Vi. Never heard of B? Vi? That's for sure. Oh, and I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but I promised Victoria she'd have some really good advice in store, even if she doesn't admit it. I couldn't blame her for having overheard our little conversation. The cafe was fairly quiet, even with the background music. That's okay, and thank you. Maybe Victoria is the queen of both unsolicited and solicited advice. Victoria rolled her eyes. If you say so. If you say so. Alright, I won't listen in anymore. Just tell me if you girls need anything, alright? You're alright? You're alright! Really? And thank you! We'll be sure to tell you. Regan did a slight bow before she went back to the bar, turning up the music a little bit, more to try and mask out voices. I looked at Victoria's cup and the name that was written on it. Was it some kind of cute nickname between friends? So, bye. I asked. Victoria shook her head with a smile. You do? I told Rebecca that Vi makes no sense. Like, isn't Vi a nickname for Violet? Yeah, so why does she call you like that? I don't know. She just started calling me like that from time to time. I think that trying to get her to stop isn't going to work. So, yeah. Victoria chuckled and took a sip of her tea, putting her elbow on the table as she rested her head on her hand. Rebecca, don't listen to me anymore. Just you and me. So, what's going on, Max? Victoria seemed really intent on not letting the topic go, but it was out of pure curiosity. Maybe it was out of pure concern, but I appreciated the gesture. I took in a deep breath before I spoke. Well, it's all about Kate. Victoria raised an eyebrow. What's the matter? Did you two fight? Talking about the topic wasn't easy at all. How was I supposed to explain without including the time traveling that happened beforehand? I wanted to tell her, of course, but that wasn't an option, at least for now. I could tell her later on. For now, she wants me to visit her, but feels scared to go. I mean, of course. Of course I want to go and check on her. I'm sure she's fine, but we need to talk about some stuff. Mm-hmm. I think that if I go there, things might go wrong. I'm scared of saying something stupid and screwing things up. I get what you mean. After what she said, things are on a bit of a shaky ground, aren't they? Yeah, definitely. Definitely. But if you don't go, don't you think it's definitely going to be worse? I mean, if you haven't gone there, don't you think she might feel like you don't care? Well, Victoria was right. You couldn't just brush it off as if it was an optional trip. I know. But I feel guilty. Victoria leaned in a bit forward, softly putting her cup to the side without saying a word. Well, after what happened, I can't help but feel like I could have done more. I stopped her, sure, but I could have prevented her. I could have prevented it. If I had listened to her, if I had noticed the weird little things she was doing, I looked away. Victoria's gaze felt awfully intense. I understand. When I saw her room, I felt horrible. I don't think I could put it into words. But why would you feel guilty, Max? You've been there for her. You're even worrying for her now. Of course I am. That doesn't mean that I want. That doesn't mean that what I did was okay. What if I go there and we fight over it? If we stop talking? I don't think I could not have her with me. Not at all. But you can't just run away from it. You didn't notice what happened, and that's okay. You have your own problems, and you can't expect yourself to always be on top of everything all the time, Max. When I did so, I ignored it too. I thought she would be fine. I thought that things would just go away and fix themselves. Hold on, I'm getting set up real quick. There we go. Not that. Okay. And you're doing it, and you're going to do it again? Victoria's words forced me to look back at her. They were bold, aggressive even. But she was absolutely right. I don't think you ignored it with malice. You are not the type to do something that would harm Kate on purpose, even if that was what ended up happening. She took a sip of her tea, clearing her throat before she continued. But do you really want to do the same thing again? If you harmed her because you ignored her problems and didn't notice them, isn't avoiding her basically the same? Well, I understand you aren't feeling confident in it, but if you show Kate that you are there for her, and trust me, things will go right. Show her that you want to fix what you did. Show her that things are going to be different. Victoria definitely seemed in high spirits, returning to her more laid-back position as she drank her tea. Do you really think so? I mean, I don't know. It's scary. Really scary. Of course it was. Just the thought of Kate getting angry at me and pushing me away made me want to not go. The risk was too much for me to take, but Victoria still kept on pushing. Of course I do. You guys are like the best friends ever, right? Right. But I absolutely doubt that she'll hate you over something like this, Max. Come on! You only have today, don't you? Uh-oh. Come on, you only have today, don't you? You should get going. But you'll thank me later. Really. Victoria was extremely convincing. There was some reasoning behind her words. If not for the slight but ever so present possibility of losing Kate, then there was almost nothing to lose. Even if it was easier said than done. So, are you going? The bus is going to come by any minute now. You have to choose. I will. I sighed, standing up from the table with a soft smile. You're really the best of You're really the best unsolicited advice. Victoria took another sip of her tea with an awfully smug expression. I aim to please. I have a title to live up to. Victoria stood up from her seat, nudging me on the shoulder. You'll do great. Really. Tell Kate I said hi. You're not coming? I mean, you could say it to her yourself, you know. Victoria chuckled. I'd love to, but I don't want to interrupt anything. You two have a lot to talk about. Plus, I want to catch up on some stuff with Rebecca. Thank you, really. I'll tell you how it all goes, Vi. Victoria rolled her eyes. It looked like I still wasn't that close to her for those kinds of nicknames. Don't push it, Maxine. Now hurry up! You're going to be late. I nodded with a chuckle. I walked to the entrance, turning to face Rebecca. Thank you so much for the coffee. It was delicious. I'll come back soon. Rebecca flinched at my words, too distracted by her cell phone, but once she noticed me, she shot me a kind smile. Of course. See you later. Oh, and good luck too. Rebecca turned to her phone immediately again, trying to play off her blunder casually. Looks like she was trying. It looked like trying to hide it from her wasn't going to work, was it? Hold on a second, I'm going to get another drink of water real quick. I walked out of the shop with my cup and book bag I walked out of the shop with my cup and book bag ready and walked over to the nearest bus stop. It was time to fix what I caused, and I was going to show Kate how serious I was about it. And here I stood, right in front of Kate's room. Room number 105, specifically. I made sure to check twice. Thrice. Probably trying to find an excuse not to go inside. The coffee cup was in decent condition. Maybe I could give it to her as an icebreaker. What was I supposed to tell her? A snarky one-liner? Tell her something like, I hope you're feeling better? It all felt not so genuine. I took a deep breath, pushed the door open against my better judgment. If I didn't do it right now, I'd definitely back down. Okay, I'm gonna... Hold on a second. I'm just gonna save real quick, so just in case. Anyway, where was I? As I entered the clean, cream-colored room, the warm afternoon lights made me squint my eyes. The hospital room had a decently sized window, which gave the room a very unnatural amount of light. As I stepped further into the room, I noticed Kate, wearing her normal clothes? What was up with that? The tables to her side are full with what seem to be letters, flowers, and balloons with the expected "Get well soon" messages all over them. Kate lifts her face up to see me, a soft smile on her face. Hey, Kate! Hey, Kate! You made it! You made it, Max! Come in! A slight excitement was noticeable in her voice. I walked closer to her as she puts her notebook to the side. That's a lot of flowers. You're famous now, aren't you? Kate chuckled. More like infamous. A lot of guys from school have been sending them. Even Principal Wells sent those sunflowers. She pointed to an impressive arrangement of sunflowers that took almost most of the space on her flower table. Really? So even he has a heart. No need to be mean, Max. I moved my gaze from the flowers and turned it back to Kate. Once I'm close enough to her, I offer her the macchiato cup. Here, I thought you would really like it. I know you're more of a tea girl, but it's really, really good. Promise. And your clothes. What's up with that? What's up with that? Kate tilted her head to the side, taking the cup but ignoring the latter part of the sentence. So why does it have your name on the cup? She noticed. Well, the cashier asked me for my name. Sorry about that. And it even has a heart! This is heartbreaking. Did she just make a clever... Yes, I know I had shaking. Kate said as she took a sip of it, taking advantage of the flustered feeling that lingered after her little joke. Kate nodded at me, beaming as she spoke. Hey, this is really good. Not better than the tea, but really impressive. Kate put the cup to the table on her side. Yeah, I'm glad you liked it. And as for my clothes, what can I say? Knowing almost everyone in Arcadia Bay has its benefits. Besides, I wasn't going to see you in the gown. That would have been so embarrassing. Hold up. In the game, if you were to save Kate, you would see her in the hospital in her pajamas. She would have been wearing her pajama shirt, her pajama pants. Just saying. Oh. I see. The good part was that my totally planned gift worked. Even if the room was now filled with a silence only interrupted by an occasional car driving by in the background. I sat on the edge of Kate's bed, trying to avoid her gaze. It looked like I wasn't getting off easy with just one small talk, was I? Sorry, Kate, I wanted to come earlier, but... You're totally fine. School got a little tough, didn't it? I understand. I guess it's not easy. After we talked, I would also feel exhausted. Yeah, but I'm so glad to see you here, Kate. I extended my hand and put it on the bed. Kate to take, slowly reaching with hers and putting it on top of mine with her usual gentle smile. I'm glad too. Well, it means a lot to me that you came over. I was starting to worry that you'd end up not coming after all. She took her hand off of mine, grabbed the cup, drank from her coffee, staring out of the window. This place is pretty. It's really not as bad as you'd think. But sometimes I sometimes feel lonely. Well, at least the flowers and bushes keep you company, didn't they? But they aren't good at keeping up a conversation. We've been trying to get out of the how are you for a couple days now. Talking to the plants and inanimate objects all day. Not cool. What about the nurses? How are they treating you? They've been nice. At the beginning they were a little aggressive about my phone and scared of me watching TV. After a bit they finally relaxed a bit. One of them tries to talk to me apart from how are you feeling, Kate, to wait a second. Hold on a second. That's kinda nice. She took another sip from her drink, her face going from the bright smile to a much more apathetic expression, a hint of sadness behind it. It sounds nice. I'm glad. Yeah. The mood quickly soured. Did I say something bad? The silence in the room remained for a couple of awkward minutes yet again. However, Kate cut through it with ease. I haven't been able to stop thinking about that day, Max. I think about it all day. Your words, what I felt when I chose to go up the stairs to the roof. The heavy feeling of the silence that surrounded us, the awkward and conclusive feelings that floated in the air, they weren't going to go away until we talked about the elephant in the room. You had told me that you wanted for us to stop talking, to part our own ways so decisively, without hesitation. But right after you went up the stairs and told me that you wanted me to stay with you, you even promised me to stay together. You even promised me to stay together. Why do you have to confuse me this much? Do you hate me? Do you want us to be friends? I'll always be thankful for what you did. You saved me from something so stupid. Why did you do it? I understand how you feel. I was so mean to you. Told you that it was for the best, and I betrayed you. But I did it because I still care about you, Kate. I care about you too much to pretend like I don't care. If you die, I couldn't live with myself if I did, so. I'm just gonna do this real quick once again in case. This is a precaution in case the game crashes. Kate clenched her left side into a fist, her thumb brushing against the side of her hand nervously. But I meant what I said. I want to be with you. Really. Then what did you mean by again? By the futures that you mentioned. She turned to face me. Her look was skeptical, as if she had just caught me in a lie. Unless you were trying to make up a dream or a game to get me to listen to you. In which case, it wasn't. I raised my voice slightly, cutting off Kate as she spoke. Why would I lie to you? I saw what I saw. I saw Chloe die, Victoria. I gritted my teeth. The image of Kate jumping infecting my mind with rage. You saw me too, right? I did. It sounds unbelievably fake, but sounds too complicated to be just a bluff. Why would you do this? Did you tell me something this crazy just for the slightest chance that I wouldn't jump off? I did. And I would do whatever it took to do so. It's crazy, Kate, but will you let me explain to you? Just one chance, Kate. The very last one. Kate looked down to her hands, moving the table in between us away to her side with a slight nod. She hesitantly nodded, looking at me expectantly. Just listen to me. I know it sounds crazy, but I have a power to rewind time. Kate seems in awe of what I told her, raising an eyebrow before leaning forward. Alright, wait. Can you say it again? I think I have the power to rewind time. Kate. I have the power to rewind time, Kate. It's real. I promise. I slowly tried to move my hands toward hers. However, Kate moved hers back, looking at me with disbelief. She was going to make this really, really hard. No, that's impossible. You're talking about superpowers? Like comic book superpowers, right? I am. I can rewind time for a bit, and sometimes I can use pictures and change the past, which changes the future, too. How do I know you're not lying? How was I supposed to give her proof? When I played with time just a little, there was a chance that a tornado would appear again. Or something worse than just that. I had to do something. I took a deep breath, trying to think things through as calmly as possible. Look, I can't just show you. When I used it, I tried to save Chloe. I saved her from Nathan, but just a couple weeks later, this massive tornado appeared out of nowhere. So many people died, and Kate seemed hesitant, even more than before. But she didn't interrupt me. one step closer, I guess. I can't explain how I got it. I don't even know how it happened, but I have it. Same week that Chloe died, you tried to jump off. It was because of the video, because of your family. It's been bothering you, hasn't it? Yes. I don't know who it was. Everyone I asked didn't know either, or didn't want to help. I felt so trapped, like there was no escape. But you stopped me. David, the security guard? He has been harassing you too, right? Kate didn't answer, her eyes in visible confusion as she nods. Yeah, I've seen him sometimes following me. He'll get on top of me for the slightest thing. How did you know? I haven't told anyone. No one has seen it either. I saw it. The week in which I saved Chloe. He tried to harass you, and I took a picture of it. You were angry with me about it. Kate looked away. I also saw your favorite Bible passages. Matthew 11:28, right? Matthew 11:28, right? It's in your Bible. You made a little note out of it. I forgot about it on the roof, and Kate turns around again, extremely confused, as if she speaks in a soft murmur. Come to me. Come to me. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. How did you know that? She asked herself, her hands fidgeting nervously. There's a bit of silence before I decide to step in. I discovered it. Nathan was the one who drugged you. He drugged Rachel Jefferson. Chloe and I found her body too. Jefferson then tried to kill me. Kate shook her head slightly, still in visible disbelief. Is it really true? Everything you said? Did it really happen? I shuffled closer to Kate. This time she didn't seem to push me away. I put a hand on one of her legs over the bed sheets, trying to show her my honesty. I did. It did. And I wish it hadn't. I saved Chloe so many times. I tried to stop her dad from dying, and even that didn't fix anything. Jefferson died, Nathan died, Chloe died, Victoria, and so would have everything else if Chloe hadn't. I looked down at the bed, feeling my eyes water as I remember her once again. I think I should accept my fate. Our fate. I know you'll make the right decision. Chloe, I can't make this choice. No, Max. You're the only one who can. Kate suddenly put her hand over mine. Her tiny smile offered me some slight reassurance. I understand, it's so crazy, but I think I do. At least for now, Max. Time traveling, multiple futures? Unbelievable! I nodded, wiping my eyes before lifting my gaze up again. I know. I sometimes think that it was a dream, but it all happened. And at the very least, it helped me save you, Kate. Kate then took her hand off mine. Kate then took her hand off of mine. Confusion was swept away as she tried to find the answers to her own questions. You said you saw me jump off. You saw what happened with David. My Bible. You even said that I was drugged by Nathan. Right? I looked at her with skepticism. Why would she be asking about this if I already told her about it? Yeah, exactly. Why? Then you did know about my family, the emails. You knew about everything. Kate looked down at her hands, fiddling with the bed covers as she spoke. Then why did you leave me alone, Max? If you knew what I was going through, why didn't you help me? When I told you about my mom, you acted as if you didn't know what was happening. You were so oblivious. So why? Kate was understandably confused. But now I was the even more confused one. Where was Wad? Where was I supposed to even start explaining? Of course, after Chloe's death, I was shocked. But why did I ignore her so much? I tried to convince myself that it was better, but crap. What could I even tell her? Well, Kate, don't give the sad face, please. I can't handle girls being sad. Including it with you. I stuttered, averting my gaze to the floor. I just didn't think you'd kill yourself. My bad? Every answer sounded stupid. No matter how I put it, I was dangerously close to letting her die. Kate leaned forward slightly, her expression slowly morphing into a more angry one. You told me before all this, when we met each other, that you'd be with me. You said we'd always be together. That I was your best friend. Why did you leave me? Not only that, but you told me it was for the best. But it was for the best? We should go our different ways? Kate, really, Kate raises her voice, cutting me off strongly. Did you want me to die? Of course I didn't! I raised my voice with an angry tone. It was loud enough to get Kate to stop talking at the very least. I panted, feeling my heart beating strongly against my chest, my adrenaline at an all-time high. You don't know how much I saw, how much I lived through again and again. I saw Chloe die so many times. I saw Rachel's body, Jefferson die in front of me, that massive effort tornado that almost killed everyone. Can you imagine? Everyone trapped in a miserable diner, accepting that it's going to be the end for them? Can you imagine seeing your best friend kill themselves, being 1 second away from saving them? The despair, the sadness. Kate looked away, her conflicting emotions reflected upon her confused expression. I thought if Jefferson was gone, that if Nathan was gone, everything would go back to normal. That your sadness and desperation would go away. That if I was gone, you'd be happy. I wanted you to be happy, Kate, even if it meant I had to leave you. Would Kate be able to understand it? It doesn't change what I did. That if I doubted even for one more second that I was going to lose her again. Give me a moment, I need one more drink. But this time I didn't want that to be the case. I wanted to end all of our troubles, to finally live that life we used to have before that hell on earth we went through. I could hear the bedsheets rustling as Kate gripped them once more. The sound of her nose sniffling caught my attention, and as I lifted my gaze, I saw Kate wiping the tears away from her face. You're so stupid. Kate avoided me as much as possible, so I tried to extend my hand to her again, hoping that this time she wouldn't reject it. As I put my hand over hers, Kate took it with both of her hands, squeezing it softly. I can't go back to normal without you. I can't act like everything is alright if you're gone, Max. Kate rubbed my hand with both of hers, not letting go of it for even a second. When Chloe died, you weren't the same. It was as if you were gone. It didn't matter how much I looked for you, how many messages I sent you. You just didn't seem to come back to me. It was... I moved even closer to Kate, but she still didn't lift her gaze. I'm sorry, Kate. I should have told you something. I should have tried to reach you out to you. Tell you that I needed help. I'm so stupid. I almost lost you, but I won't lose you this time. Kate hesitated, finally looking at me with a troubled look. You promised you would stay with me, and then you left me. How can I know it won't be the same? How am I supposed to know that you aren't lying to my face this time around? You almost left me to die. You broke our promise and now you did the same thing again. But Max, I know it's hard to believe. You have no reason to believe me. But this time, it will be different. I've realized that I really want to move forward with you, Kate. I can't live without my tea partner, my best friend. If I lost you, nothing would ever be the same. Kate smiled to herself softly. The glowing orange light of the afternoons made her tears even more notorious. I took my hand away from Kate's grasp, bringing it up to her cheek to clean her tears. Really now? Really now? Really now? Kate chuckled softly. Will you not break your promise this time? She asked, taking my hand off from her cheek and caressing it with her thumb delicate. Okay, let me try that again. She asked, taking my hand off from her cheek and caressing it with her thumb delicately, her eyes staring into mine with great expectation. The way that she stared into my eyes got my heart racing again. Her warm smile, soft touch, and delicate eyes caught me off guard and made me blush. Of course I will. I know I missed one time. I couldn't protect you then, so I'll protect you now, Kate. Kate rubbed her cheek against my hand, softly. The lighting only made her look even more beautiful. How did she always manage to make me feel like this? Even when she was crying, I was always the one at a loss in front of the introverted girl. Sure. Pinky promise then? We got a pinky promise! We got a pinky promise with Kate Marsh! We have to. She giggled, bringing up her left hand with her pinky finger ready to seal the contract. I brought up my right hand, intertwining our fingers as a way of showing that things this time will be right. Would it be enough? Actually, I have one more promise. Oh? Kate tilted her head to the side slightly. This time, Kate, I'll make you happy. I want to make things right. I want to make this future the one in which you can live without regrets. I'll be there, right by your side. Kate blushed, playing it off with a nervous chuckle. You are so intense now all of a sudden. Is this a best friends thing? Did you see this when you rewinded time? Wait, are you cheating? Did you rewind time? How many times have I said this? I shook my head, chuckling at her joke. Maybe. Sometimes I just know what to say, you know? Sometimes you really do. I like that, Max. Then it's settled. You'd better not be lying. Oh, you can see that determined look on her face. We better not be lying this time, or else it's our head. Of course not. It would be a waste to do so after that speech, you know. Kate smiled, releasing my hand and putting hers on top of the bedsheets. When I'm out, do you want to have that tea party we have pending? I nodded almost too quickly in response. Of course! I got a new place we could go to, unless you want to go back to the usual place. A new place definitely sounds exciting. A breath of fresh air. Then we'll do it. I'll bring all the stuff myself. Thank you, Max. I'm looking forward to it. Kate took the notebook from on top of the table, flipping through the pages. I wrote down some stuff while I was here. Do you want to see? Kate slid the table in front of her again. Of course. Did you have any big breakthroughs? Sort of. I've been thinking about drawing a children's book. I love how they look in the stories, even if they are, well, childish. Really? I didn't know that. Children's books, huh? Yeah. It's kind of embarrassing, being honest. But I sometimes read them. Helps me get a lot of inspiration for drawings. Hey, it's not embarrassing. Just imagine. Kate Marsh, the most popular writer in all of Arcadia Bay. Isn't that a cool title? Maybe you'll even get your picture framed on the diner. Yeah, it doesn't sound bad at all. But I need a writer. It can't just be pretty pictures in a book, you know. Maybe it could be Kate and Max, the dynamic duo of Arcadia Bay. Doesn't that sound better? Now you're onto something. I like that title. Now, show me what you're working with. The afternoon slowly melted away like the little bits and pieces of ice in Kate's cup. Her expressions, that sweet smile that made me want to hold her as tight as I could. Her genuine passion and love towards our future. It made everything worth it. I was going to protect Kate. I was going to protect Kate, no matter what happened. I was going to make us both happy and protect this future. We would make it ours forever. Well, I guess. Made by Retrozone Studios, written by Biscuit, programmed by Como and Rami, sprites by Rubik and Draws and Airy, CGs by Rubik Draws, background rooftop backgrounds by Airy, GUI, font and credit scenes by Julia, Cinnamon Roll Doom, music special thanks, donors. I was not done reading that! I was not done! You know what? I can read it when I post this on YouTube. Anyway, that's it. That is the end of, for now, of Life is Strange. This is the conclusion of, for now, of Life is Strange Aftermath. According to their website, I'll leave a link of the website in the description down below. This game is currently in the demo stage. It says so not everything that you see here is representative of the final game. As we get more art and more chapters, are done, we will update the game and upload it for sure, all for free. Well, they are. Anyway, this was honestly really fun. This is a really fun visual novel. What Retrozone Studios did, they understood that some Life is Strange fans want some closure. They want answers as to what would happen to Max if we continued her story, if we chose to sacrifice Chloe. And I honestly think this game is a perfect interpretation of, and I think this visual novel game is perfect. It's perfect. And I applaud Retrozone Studios for all the work they did on this. I'm honestly sad that this is, for now, the end. And it was really nice to come back and see Max and Chloe, see Max, Kate, and Victoria again. And we got to meet a new character, Rebecca, too. I'm sensing... And we also got to see new scenes, too. Like, we never got a coffee shop. We never got a coffee shop in the game. But the visual novel, they introduced us to the coffee shop. Like, hell yeah, that looks really, really nice. I loved it. And what they did with this game, with this visual novel, Retro Zone Studios really went out of their way to make all this. Like, I'm actually I'm gonna be, I said this once, I said it again, I'm actually sad that's, for now, the end of Life is Strange Aftermath, because it was nice to dive back into this game again, and I really enjoyed every minute of it. And it shows Retro Zone Studios, they did a great job with this, and I give them all the credit in the world for putting the time, the effort into making this. And the team of Retro Zone Studios gets all the credit in the world for this. And I'm looking forward to the future. Like, I'm not sure how many chapters it's gonna be. Like I said, this is just a demo. This is just a demo of this game. So it could be that we could get a full version of this in the near future. I'm not sure when, but I do know that maybe, I'm not sure when chapter 3, I'm not even sure it's gonna be like the episodic 5, I'm not even sure if it's gonna be like the 5 episodes like in like a typical Life is Strange fashion where you get 5 episodes. It's actually a fun fact, Life is Strange was actually supposed to be more than that. According to the leaderboard, it was supposed to be much longer. I think it was supposed to have 8, according to game files. Anyway, this was a fun experience, and Retro Zone Studios, you get a round of applause from me for a job well done, and I had so much fun doing this. I had so much fun playing this game. I'm glad Retro Zone Studios, I'm glad you gave me the opportunity to play this game on my Twitch channel, on my YouTube channel. It was a real fun experience to get Life is Strange, to bring back Life is Strange, because honestly, a staple of my channel last year was Life is Strange, because I played Life is Strange the Remastered Collection 3 separate times on my channel alone. Honestly, I would consider this completely different. Like, this is a visual novel. This is completely different, and I like the fact that they basically, the character designs were awesome, amazing. I hope they come out with another chapter here soon, because I would like to dabble in this. And when they come out with the full game, I might play the entire game anew and start over again, because basically that's what some people do with full games, and that's basically the plan from going here on out. And oh, hold on a second. There we go. Here we are. Acoustic Dream by Zoe. Holy crap, Fragile Heart accepted by Tungerman. And they even give ample credit to Dontnod. And they even give credit to Dontnod, Deck 9, Square Enix. There's actually a few times Dontnod liked a few comments I made on their Instagram posts. Like, I decided I'm gonna leave a comment. Little did I know they liked it, and I'm honestly blessed by that. Including the MIT license, genuine general public license, a complete list of software, including links to full source code can be found here. You know what? I don't think we need to dabble in that, because this game is amazing as is. And it was a clean stream. No technical difficulties at all. Like, I know my last time we had major technical difficulties because I'm sensing that I decided to clean up my computer a little bit. That's probably why my stream was a little. But that's why you found a few pauses in my cam from time to time. Anyway, Retro Zone Studios, this is amazing. I can't wait to play the future chapters of this game. I will be looking forward to playing the future chapters of Life is Strange Aftermath. I wouldn't say you did just a great job, Retro Zone Studios. You did an amazing job with bringing back Max, Kate, Victoria, introducing a new character. Like wow, and introducing a coffee shop. Retro Zone Studios really outdid themselves. They want to give us the perfect answer of what would happen if we were to continue the story with Max after she's sacrificed to Chloe. I honestly really enjoyed it. It was a fun experience, and for now, this is it for Life is Strange Aftermath, and I hope you all like it. I hope you go check it out for yourself, dabble in the experience yourself, feel what I feel the happiness, and admire the beauty of all the scenes. Like, the art was beautiful, the music was beautiful, the character design was beautiful, even the dialogue itself was beautiful. Like, they really thought, Retro Zone Studios really thought this out, and they deserve a round of applause, and they deserve a crowd cheering for them. I hope this game gets out there for the world to see. And who knows, maybe this game will get some awards. I hope Life is Strange Aftermath gets some awards for basically this. I hope they get some awards. And I'm grateful. I'll forever be grateful for Retro Zone Studios giving me the opportunity to play this game for you guys, and it was a fun ride. I hope you all enjoyed it. So that's all the time I have tonight for this stream, for this video. If you liked the stream, go ahead and give me a follow, because it shows I'm doing something right and I shouldn't change it all. And if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up, as it really helps me out. And if you liked the stream, if you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. It really shows that I'm doing something right with this, and I should keep doing what I'm doing. And if you like this video and you don't want to miss a future one, go ahead and hit the subscribe and give the bell a nice teddy bear, their most favorite teddy bear, even with their favorite embroidery on it. Like, it doesn't have to be their favorite baseball team. It could be an inspirational quote or what they like to wear. Anyway, give the bell hit the subscribe, get the subscribe some love, get the bell some love, so you don't miss a future video of mine like this one. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and for all you Life is Strange fans out there today, wherever you are, this has been Life is Strange Aftermath. I'm really grateful that you guys were able to see this. Thank you all so much for watching. For all you Life is Strange fans out there tonight, this has been the one, the only Lord Macintosh, saying he is officially signing off. Good day, good night, wherever you are. Have a good one out there, people.